Kappa League TV!
I'm Niles Holt from Alpharetta Smyrna Alumni Chapter Kappa League, and you're watching Kappa League TV. Kappa brother Cedric Rogers is the CEO of Culture Genesis. He's also an entrepreneur who's developed several apps and works with young people to educate them about technology. I caught up with him recently to hear more about it. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell us what first interested you in the technology field?
Well, hey, Niles, it's great to meet you. Yeah, man, I really got interested in technology early. As a kid, I would love to look at, TV, and I loved looking at the remote and figure out how would the remote change the channel on a TV. It just would always fascinate me, and I wanted to know how that happened and what caused it. So that got me really starting to get into this place of taking things apart, putting it back together, to where I said to myself, like, wow, I want to do more of this. And so those things were kind of the early things that got me started. Then I got into computers, remote control cars, and it just kept growing from there.
Since graduating North Carolina A&T, you've had some impressive jobs and experiences. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, first of all, Aggie Pride. Like you said, I went to A&T, graduated with a degree in electrical engineering. So I really came out of school, with a lot of experience in RF engineering. So my first job was actually at Motorola as an RF engineer. And so I focused on working on antennas for mobile phones, as well as for the LoJack anti-theft device. So I finally got another job. I actually wound up going over to Apple as a system engineer. And I really enjoy system engineering work because, of course, you got a chance to get out of the building, engage with clients, come up with cool solutions. When the iPhone and iPad came out, we were really creating some solutions for, let's say, the football team. We had playbooks on the iPad. We had their strength and conditioning, the health and nutrition and wellness, all that stuff was there. I really was having a good time and really a lot of fun building these things out.
How'd you know when it was time to leave what many see as a prestigious job to start your own business?
I just stayed at Apple for so long because I really enjoyed working there. But after I got my MBA, though, that really made me feel like I wanted to kind of do my own thing. And so I wanted to do something I was passionate about. So I created my first startup around, it was a solution for youth organizations. It was called Prism.
African Americans make up a very small percentage of the tech workforce. What are some things you have done or are doing to help change that?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's not as many of us in the tech space, but it is growing. But for me personally, what I try to do is I really try to spend my time talking to youth. It's part of the reason why I built my first startup, was to kind of, build and become inspiring to those, to give them an example of what can be done. In our community, we see a lot of football players and, rappers, just entertainers in general, but we don't always see, who's the next Black Mark Zuckerberg or, who's kind of in those spaces. So for me, that was always been very important, and that's how I spend my time, really helping to expose youth. And then also, making sure my company's doing the same thing, that we're involved in the community and giving back.
What advice would you give to young people like Kappa Leaguers who want to get involved in creating, innovating, and working in the tech field?
My advice is starting with what you're passionate about, leveraging the information that's actually out there on the internet, learning how to do things on your own. But then don't hesitate to go find people who are in the space and are doing things. Find that mentor who can kind of expose you to things. And if you can't find any of those things, you can go to different programs. There's all kinds of programs, after school programs, or even at universities that, from the College of Computing, College of Engineering, those kind of places where you can go and they have different kind of programs to help young people learn more.
You are very inspiring. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Niall.